The Giants return home with revenge on their mind. It was a little over 2 months ago when the Rockies rolled into town and dealt the Giants a series of punches to the gut. Painful 3-game sweep sent the Giants into a tailspin, and tonight, payback next. Giants are back at AT&T Park as we get ready for a big 4-game series. That's right, a 4-gamer, and this is game 1 against the Colorado Rockies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants had a shot to go 4-2, and it looked like yesterday they were going to do that. And then just a disaster from the 6th inning on. But they're back home now. They go 3-3 on the road trip, and they got Jake Peavy on the mound, and he's throwing the ball extremely well.
Well, you're right, and he's coming off of 2 consecutive victories after 12 consecutive losses, so you know his confidence is completely 180 since the 0-12 streak. Now, the thing that the Giants are going to have to deal with in this series with the Colorado Rockies are 3 left-handers. 3 of the 4 starts will be against left-handers. Why is that a big issue? Well, the Giants are 5-13 against lefties in their last 18 starts against them, so they need to start turning things around. Plus, they do owe this team a little bit, because if you think back, the last time they saw each other here in San Francisco, there were 3 comeback victories late by the Rockies, and the Giants, well, that kind of set them on its tailspin. They need to get a little revenge in this series.
Buster Posey at first base tonight. Andrew Susac behind the dish. All right, when we come back, we're going to go to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after these messages.
And after this recent road trip, Hunter Pence now has 18 home runs on. Got foiled.
Sportsnet Bay area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
After splitting on the road, your Giants are back in the Bay and ready to kick off a 4-game series against division foes, the Colorado Rockies. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And after this recent road trip, Hunter Pence now has 18 home runs on the season. If you saw his home run Saturday in Washington, you may have had the same reaction as we did, which was, how the heck did he hit that? The funny thing is, it's not the first time Hunter Pence has roped a high pitch out of the yard. It's our AT&T U-verse rewind this evening. We take you back to May 22nd in Colorado. He takes what looks like an emergency swing, but it goes out over the right center field wall. Deja vu. 2 days ago, he took Zimmerman deep on an eye-level, very outside pitch. Now take a look at the moment of contact on these two pitches. I talked with Giants hitting instructor Joe LaFay today. He said Hunter Pence is, quote, a freak of nature. I have no idea how he hit that ball. And Nationals pitcher Jordan Zimmerman said Pence is the only guy he knows who can hit that pitch. Zimmerman said he threw it right where he wanted it, and he still was able to hit it out of the park. It's no surprise Hunter Pence plays the game his own unique way, and probably tonight he will also defy the logic of baseball, and you'll be able to sit back and watch it and enjoy it. Mike and Dwayne have the call tonight. After this break, they'll have lineups and first pitch. Stay with us.
Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
After splitting on the road, your Giants are back in the Bay and ready to kick off a 4-game series against division foes, the Colorado Rockies. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And after this recent road trip, Hunter Pence now has 18 home runs on the season. If you saw his home run Saturday in Washington, you may have had the same reaction as we did, which was, how the heck did he hit that? The funny thing is, it's not the first time Hunter Pence has roped a high pitch out of the yard. It's our AT&T U-verse rewind this evening. We take you back to May 22nd in Colorado. He takes what looks like an emergency swing, but it goes out over the right center field wall. Deja vu. 2 days ago, he took Zimmerman deep on an eye-level, very outside pitch. Now take a look at the moment of contact on these two pitches. I talked with Giants hitting instructor Joe LaFay today. He said Hunter Pence is, quote, a freak of nature. I have no idea how he hit that ball. And Nationals pitcher Jordan Zimmerman said Pence is the only guy he knows who can hit that pitch. Zimmerman said he threw it right where he wanted it, and he still was able to hit it out of the park. It's no surprise Hunter Pence plays the game his own unique way, and probably tonight he will also defy the logic of baseball, and you'll be able to sit back and and watch it and enjoy it. Mike and Dwayne have the call tonight. After this break, they'll have lineups and first pitch. Stay with us.
A Joe Panic fan headed into the yard. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. Yes, indeed. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 63 degrees here at the yards. You see the wind at 11 miles per hour. The humidity is pretty high, and it is partly cloudy. It is simply a San Francisco night. All right, let's take a look at the Rockies lineup. Rockies have won 2 games in a row. It'll be Blackman, Stubbs, and Morneau, the first 3, and then Nolan Arenado, who is the National League Player of the Week. He's hot right now. Followed by Dickerson, McHenry, and Josh Rutledge. DJ LeMahieu, he is going to hit in the 8th spot, and Tyler Matzik is going to pitch and bat 9th. So Walt Weiss just departed with the instructions as to the ground rules here at AT&T Park. The manager, if he's ever going to come out for this, it's usually the first game of a series, and that's what Walt Weiss did. This season, I have not seen Bruce Bochy come out ever, especially at home, maybe occasionally on the road. So Pablo Sandoval leads the Giants out of their dugout as Jake Peavy comes trotting out.
Jake Peavy is the starting pitcher tonight for the Giants. 33-year-old right-hander making his 6th start for the Giants. To see what he's done at 25 starts with the Red Sox and the Giants. 3-12, 4.48 ERA. Has won his last 2 games after losing the previous 12. So he is off the schneid and feeling with a lot of confidence. 123 strikeouts against 54 walks and 156 2/3. When you take your bat against Peavy, you're going to see a fastball that'll go low 90s, so 4-seam, 2-seam. Get a lot of ground balls when he's throwing right. He'll cut the ball.
He's got a curveball, slider, changeup. I mean, he'll throw the sink at you, but his changeup, sinker really are his backbone. And he wants you to hit the ball on the ground. He wants to have your at bat over within 3 pitches. That's the goal. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Jake Peavy tonight for the Giants, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Morse, Pagan, and Pence. That's the outfield. Crawford, Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Panic and Posey on the right side. Andrew Susac will be in the squad, putting down the signs. Right now, it's time to take a look at our Nissan keys to the game. And you come off of a long road trip with no day off. Guess what? You need to plug into the crowd and do it quickly. Use that energy. And this is one of the best home field advantages around baseball in that regard. That will be a key. And then 2, solve the left-handers. And take a look at what the Giants, in their last 18 games against lefty pitching, they've gone 5-13. They need to improve upon that because they're going to see 3 lefties in this series. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
So Charlie Blackmon ready to step in. The Rockies have won 2 straight games. Just coming off taking 2 out of 3 from Miami. And the first pitch of the ball game is a called strike. So we get started at 7:16. So Blackmon, an all-star this year, hitting at .291, 15 home runs, 60 driven in. And Peavy already working quickly, throws that pitch up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Drew Stubbs to follow, and that's pulled on the ground foul. The 2 wins against Miami. The Rockies beat Miami 5-4 on Saturday and 7-4 yesterday. Outfield straightaway for Charlie Blackmon. And he got a pitch to hit, and he fouls it straight back. Behind the dish is Doug Eddings. Then it's Blazer, Joyce, and Hudson from first to third.
Yeah, Doug Eddings, a good strike zone. Very solid, steady zone. It's a low ball zone, and there are corners on both sides of the plate. He's a good pitcher's ump and a good breaking ball ump.
And this is rolled slowly to Joe Panic, and that's how this game gets started. And no, they're going to say Posey was off the bag. Is Joe Panic kind of goosed it just a little bit, and in doing so it pulled Buster Posey off the bag. The Giants are going to take a look at it.
A little bit of a goose, the elbow below the shoulder. You get a little push. That's our Exmo. Can't tell from that particular angle. Our Exmo is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. I think you got it.
Yeah, but I don't know if Bruce Bochy wants to take a chance. This is the first hitter of the game.
They're not. It's not clear cut. Got the thumbs down from Ron Wotus, and
I mean, even though I agree with you, I think they may have gotten him.
Buster Posey looked into the dugout as if to say, I think we got him. And they got him. He's out.
So here's Stubbs. Blackmon with 22 steals. And Stubbs takes low, 1 ball and no strike.
Thumbs down, no go. So Jake Peavy going to try and pitch through an error, and that's how this homestand starts off.
On deck is Justin Morneau. And it's 2-0. Stubbs is having a pretty good year. He's over 300, 302. 13 home runs, 39 runs batted in.
After Stubbs, I mean, the average is what kind of jumps off the page at you. He's a guy who had a lot of strikeouts, didn't hit for a lot of average when he was with the Reds, and that was at a hitter's ballpark.
A few more areas in Colorado for balls to get in the gaps and fall in front of outfielders, but home run wise, you're absolutely right.
And coming into this year, a 239 lifetime hitter. He's got power. I mean, back in 2010 with the Reds, he had 22 home runs. But in 2011, he had 205 strikeouts, and that's when he was leading off for the Reds. So he is a swing and miss guy. This year, made some adjustments, and they're paying off for him.
And that ball sails up and in. It's 3-1. There's Morneau. Stubbs yesterday went 3 for 5. And that's skied out to left. Morris is over. Now the ball's starting to drift. He makes the catch. Blackman wisely tags, and he goes into second.
Well, that's the fly ball of the year to left field. Talk about the power that Stubbs had. We mentioned the 22 home runs he had. He kills this thing. It just had too much height, but that was definitely a swing of the bat that had the feel of a home run. And as Michael Morris had to back up, Blackman saw an opportunity with how high this was in the air and said, hey, I got a chance to tag. Heads up play.
So here's Morneau. And Morneau fouls it out of play. Morneau is hitting .314. 14 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Went on the DL right at the end of July with a strained neck. And this caroms off of Blackman, and now Crawford's got to chase it down. Do we start over?
That ball hit the bag. That was an absolute perfect throw to the bag. Just hits the side of the bag, kicks into left field, and Blackman's thinking, yeehaw daddy, I'm getting 90 more feet. Not a whole lot that Brandon Crawford could do. I mean, you don't throw to the bag, you throw to the person if you're going to do the pickoff move.
Down the line, it gets weird. Hunter Pence is going to make the catch. And tagging is Blackman, and it's 1-0 Colorado.
And he just got under that one. This is the weirdest game I've ever seen. And it's 2 outs old. Maybe that's the weirdest one I've ever seen.
Or maybe the weirdest first inning.
Yeah. How about the weirdest after 2 outs? We saw some pretty good weird on the last road trip.
So here's Arenado. 2 errors in the inning. Arenado hitting .308. And that pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strike. Rockies on the road. 18-44. As this is cued off the end of the bat. Now Buster Posey's got to get back. And he will, and that'll end the inning. Giants are coming up. It'll be Pagan, Pence, and Posey. Look at the Giants lineup. It'll look like this. It'll be Pagan, Pence, and Posey. Sandoval will be the cleanup hitter. Then Michael Morris, followed by Joe Panik. You can see what young Mr. Panik has done since August 4th. Susac will hit 7th, and Crawford and Peavy.
On the hill tonight for the Rockies will be the 23-year-old left-hander Tyler Matzek, 6'3", 210-pounder. And this is what he has done. It'll be his 14th start, 2-9 with a 5.38 ERA, 53 strikeouts in 77 innings. And when you take your bats against him, what we've seen is a fastball with two types of mood. He'll 4 and 2 seam it. He's got a big curveball and a changeup. And that's just watching him in their bullpen. It's our first look at him. First time he's ever pitched against the Giants. First career start, rather. Matzek from Mission Viejo, California. First round pick, number 11th overall, the 2009 draft by the Rockies.
And Pagan taking all the way, takes a strike. Yeah, you got to have the leggings.
She's styling.
Pagan, fair ball down the left field line. He kicks over the bullpen mound, and Pagan's got a leadoff double, and it was a loud double.
Well, that's the kind of wake-up call you're looking for if you're Bruce Bochy. Just take a look at that defense the Rockies will employ tonight behind Tyler Matzek. Starting in the outfield, it'll be Dickerson, Stubbs, and Blackman. Good arms in center and in right field. Rutledge and Arenado on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Morneau on the right side. And Michael McHenry will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Hunter Pence. Pence had 2 home runs on the road trip. And he swings and misses. Overall, Hunter Pence at 283. 18 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Down low.
Here's the Exmo giving us a look at just raking a ball right past Arenado, who's an exceptional third baseman. When he has no chance for him, you know that ball was hit hard.
Foul back. Yeah, you'd rather not give Arenado a chance to get his glove on it. See the numbers for Hunter Pence against the Rockies. Yeah, he likes hitting against these Colorado Rockies the 1-2. Out of plate on the right field line. That got in on his hands. Hunter Pence, he's second in the National League in runs. He's got 88. Second in hits with 151.
Careful back there.
Getting those sunflower seeds. 1-2. Ball squirts away, but not far enough. McHenry with a nice job. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buster Posey on deck, and then Pablo Sandoval. So Matzek, 2-2 to Pence. And Pence chases a pitch in the dirt, and he's retired. So an unproductive out for Hunter Pence, and here's Buster Posey. Buster hit over 400 on the road trip. He was 9 for 22. He also had a couple of home runs. Taking his look at Tyler Matzik for the first time. And this is hammered into the gap. Pagan's going to come in and score, and this game is tied on the RBI single by Buster Posey.
Well, you're not waiting around. Jumped on the first thing he saw in the strike zone. Little challenge fastball by Matzik. And Posey opens up his homestand with a nice swing of the bat, and we get a better ball game. Just a bell-high challenge. I mean, this is room service right here. Bang! Thank you very much. You make a location mistake like that to an RBI guy, you deserve to give it up. I guess you should feel fortunate it stayed in the yard. And Buster Posey not missing the opportunity.
So here's Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval at 288. And he takes in tight. Pablo's splits were not very good for the longest time. Righties and lefties. If you look at him now, 214 right-handed, 323 left-handed. But he's seen more lefties, and sometimes that can help things out. Off the end of the bat, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The road has not been the friend for the Colorado Rockies. If you remember the last time these two teams met, middle of June, Giants blew 3 games, 2 in the 9th inning, 1 in the 8th inning. They lost all 3 of those games to the Rockies. Since that time, the Rockies have gone out on the road, and they've gone 3-23. 18-44 overall on the road. When you talk about a dry spell.
Sandoval swung at that like Matzik threw it. It's 1-2. Well, it's always been kind of an Achilles heel for the Rockies, is how they swing the bats at home compared to how they swing it on the road.
3-23. Wow. Just 18 road wins this year. At home, they're over 500. At home, they're 34-33. That's a better record than the Giants have here.
Sandoval, base hit, right field. Posey will stop at second.
Still high, Pablo Sandoval. When you're swinging at pitches that are not hangers, that are good pitches, and you're going the other way with them, you're locked in. Breaking ball for Matzik. I mean, that thing is on the outside corner, knee high. And watch in our Exmo as Sandoval just takes the location and goes to right. That's our Toyota Exmo. Gives you a great look at how he kept his hands back. Not a lot of lower body in that swing, just kind of a defensive 2-strike swing. That's what you have to do. The Cobra.
So here's Michael Morris. Matzik takes a long look at Buster Posey. And the pitch to Morris is high. 4 for 20 on the road trip for Michael Morris. Yesterday he went 1 for 4. Way inside. I'll say this, the people in Washington, D.C. gave Michael Morris every game. They gave him a nice ovation and came up for the first time.
He was moved by it. He's talking about it on the plane ride home. So that's one of the coolest things that's ever happened to him as a pro.
Bounces this one. That's a fair ball. And you can see the talent of Nolan Arenado, and that's going to end the inning. Giants tie it up. Second inning coming up. 1-1.
Announced Tim Lincecum will be skipped in his next start. Yusmeiro Petit will get the nod on Thursday in the series finale against the Colorado Rockies. Dwayne and Mike Bruce also said that Tim is available out of the bullpen as soon as his arm is rested from his last start. That could be as soon as tomorrow. Let's get it up to you.
You see Tim Lincecum. He's never gonna look like he's affected by much, and I think he's got a chance to relax now a little bit.
Well, you could definitely spend some time trying to find your mechanics. It's such a frustrating feeling.
Panic out. Is it going to be left up to him? It is.
Well, this Friday, AT&T Park is hosting a Pacquiao-Algieri fight media event. You can purchase a special event package that includes early entry to the private media event with Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri from 12:45 to 1:15 p.m., a collector's edition fight poster, and a Giants Brewers game ticket. So go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Here's Michael McHenry. And he looks at a strike.
Bochy was talking about Lincecum the day before the game. He says, here's a guy that's got 2 World Series rings. He's got 2 Cy Young awards. He's done just about everybody's dream, and he's lived it.
Look at it.
Wow.
Everybody all right?
I think we're good. Wow. Yep. Yep, we're good. Just holding her head right there. She's smiling. You know what she's saying? Needs more pine tar.
Well, you know, if I really wanted that bad, if I was that woman, I'd say, hit me right in here.
Let's see if it did. Wow.
Well, she got down.
Yeah. Boy, it's scary. That's worse than a ball going up there.
And McHenry is out swinging.
But to finish that point about Lincecum, what you said, none of that really means much to him. When he feels like he's letting everybody down, he really wears it. He just takes it home with him, and he feels like he's letting down the team, the city, everybody. I mean, he said, I don't think I've ever met a guy like him. If he ever had any reason, and he's got plenty to walk around with a big head, it would be Lincecum.
Absolutely.
But he's just not that way. He's a very humble man.
Oh, how about you missed 2 no-hitters?
Oh, yeah. Did I forget the 2 no-hitters?
Started an all-star game.
I mean, his career's been unbelievable, but, it doesn't affect him in a negative way. I mean, he is just a humble guy and wants to be a good teammate. And when he's not performing and helping his teammates, it just kills him. At some point in his life, he's going to go take a look at what's up there on the trophy shelf, and he's going to be impressed with it. But it hasn't been now. But you're right. He's going to have a chance to just step back, catch his breath. And we've seen it happen to him before.
Yep. And
how he's responded. He's foundered. He's come back. I mean, he was the difference in the 2012 playoffs and World Series when he was the X factor, the guy coming out of the bullpen.
Well, remember 2010, couldn't win a game in August.
Yeah.
And then won a whole bucket full in September and October.
Yeah, one of the best games you've ever seen. The start he had against Atlanta in NLDS. Brilliant. And he and Zito the entire month of August, I think they had 1 win and 9 losses between the 2 of them.
Well, the inside part of the plate was there, and Peavy just missed. It's 1-2. Not that time. And that'll end the inning. Joe Panik's going to lead things off. It's 1-1.
Giants hit a home run at AT&T Park. Text refresh to 49375.
Here at AT&T Park, it's a 1-1 ball game as Joe Panik's going to lead things off. Panik, Susac, and Crawford. Panik 10 for 23 on the road trip. That's 435 average. And here he takes a strike. Hit his first major league home run on Friday night in Washington, D.C. Went 1 for 3 yesterday. Fouls this one off the end of the bat, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And Panik is out swinging on a pitch in the dirt. Giants have a guest in the house. Sitting next to Giants CEO Larry Baer is Paul Simon, sitting next to his son Gabe.
One of the greatest of all time,
Ever.
right there.
Of all time.
Writer and singer, great guitarist. Loves baseball. Here with his son, as you mentioned.
Here's Andrew Susac. Crawford to follow. Susac drives into center field. Stubbs looking up. It is out of here. And the Giants take the lead. Andrew Susac hits one out here at AT&T Park.
And he's got 2 home runs, and he hadn't pulled one yet. First one, he went to right field in Wrigley Field. Here he takes on the deep part of the yard. And this is an impressive swing of the bat. A little cutter at the belt, middle away. He gets extended through it. See ya.
Here's Crawford. And he rolls it foul. Remember, Madison Bumgarner in his home run in Wrigley Field said, well, that one shouldn't count. It was just a tiny little ballpark.
Yeah, well, this one will count right here. And it's beautiful when a guy squares it up to the middle of the field. You really see the balance in his swing. Every bit of that timing was perfect.
Crawford had a day yesterday. He had struggled on the road trip, but he got it all together yesterday. He went 3 for 4. And he takes the pitch down low. Actually, he was 6 for 19 on the trip. So his struggles weren't as bad as I thought they were.
Well, a 3-hit day will cure a lot of ills.
And this pitch in the dirt. So the strikeouts that Matzik has got, he's got 3 of them. All of them have been pitches in the dirt, 2 outs.
Got a brand new haircut. Come back into AT&T and boom, hits his first San Francisco home run. So right now the folks up in Roseville are pretty excited.
Oh, it's Margaritaville now. Are you kidding me? Jake Peavy on the ground is short. Rutledge eats it up and throws him out, and that'll end the inning. Andrew Susac, his second of the year, and he hits it right on the button. And it's bye-bye baby, and it's 2-1 Giants.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Andrew Susac gives the Giants the lead as we go to the third. We're going to get some attitude in the upper deck. The old man's got a brew going. Yeah, we're good. Here's DJ LeMay who takes a called strike.
Well, the kids are all back in school. It's that time of year.
So that's why it was quiet in the neighborhood today.
Yep. Still not used to kids back in school in August. Used to be after Labor Day.
Yep. 2-1 to LeMahieu. That is a fact. On a play to LeMahieu.
Just a gorgeous night in the Bay.
Hit out to Hunter Pence. One out.
Take a look at the motion from Jake Peavy and watch the foot plant and how he puts his weight right on the inside part of that foot. Slight knee bend on the back leg. Now the stride step. Kind of an upright thrower for a sinker baller, but a very short stride, which allows him to get on top and out in front consistently.
I mean, that's almost, when you look at Lincecum's stride, almost better than half.
I'll say it's a foot shorter, and they're both about the same height.
Pitches down low. Matzek hit a little bit. He's 5 for 26.
And I really believe when they start to mechanically repair Lincecum, that's one thing he's going to finally have to start doing. And that's shortening up his stride. Because that's the only thing that's going to enable him to get his release point out front over his front foot when he's releasing the ball. That will enable him to command his pitches and the lower part of the strike zone.
Buster Posey will flip it to Peavy. 2 outs.
More effective curveballs and cutters. 5 starts for the Giants. This curveball has been a very good pitch with the Red Sox. 20% of the time they were chasing it. Here they're chasing it 50% of the time. 70% of the time he's throwing for strikes. And likewise with the cutter, a huge differential compared to what he was doing with the Red Sox. So since he's come over here, he's tightened a few things up, and it really is reflected in his breaking balls.
Here's Charlie Blackmon, who reached on the panic throwing error. He takes a strike. He eventually scored on a sacrifice fly. Brendan Belt is here. Still suffering a bit. This is lifted out to left. Morris racing in, and that'll end the inning. Nice inning for Peavy, and for the Giants, Pagan's going to lead things off. And the Legends program just expanded its roster, so you now purchase 49er Hall of Famer Steve Young and Jerry Rice autograph seats, along with these other pairs: Mays Montana, Mays McCovey, Will Clark, and again just added Steve Young and Jerry Rice. Go to sfgiants.com/candlestick memories. There they are.
I will have some of those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to replace the couch in the living room with 6 of them.
Why not?
Pagan takes a strike. I haven't yet quite checked in with Michelle, but we'll see how that'll work.
Oh, she'll go for it. Not a problem. She set up there more than you did.
She saw me take 1 at bat.
How'd you do?
I hit a broken bat grounder to third off of Dwight Gooden. And well, here's the 1-1 to Pagan. And I know she was the one for me because afterwards she gave me a big kiss and said, "You were 1 for 1. You hit the ball."
We're good.
Okay. Start checking ring sizes. 2 balls and a strike to Pagan, who doubled in the first inning. Here he takes another breaking ball for a strike. There's Will Clark. Yeah, that all happened when this guy was coming onto the scene.
Yeah, 1985, that's the year he signed. But right to San Jose, it proceeded to be a big part of that. San Jose, or actually he went to Fresno. And he was a big part of the Fresno team winning that Cal League championship that year.
Payoff pitch coming up to Pagan. Got him.
3 curveballs to the decider in that at bat. All right, time now for our McDonald's True Stories. We'll talk about a guy who's hot against the Rockies. 409 with a 490 on base percentage. And look at the slugging percentage, 773. I mean, blues are doubles, greens are home runs, and he's got almost as many extra base hits as he does singles. And that is hot. That's our McDonald's True Stories.
Matzek got him on a breaking ball in the dirt. Struck him out in the first inning. Two balls and no strikes.
He's got good breaking stuff, especially when you're seeing it for the first time. First time through the lineup, advantage Matzek in regards to the breaking ball, especially against lefties. They didn't do a whole lot with him.
And this is wrapped into center field. Oh, it's hit hard.
That was a bullet.
And here's Buster Posey.
Well, fastball, he tries to cut in and just making mistakes at the bell out over the plate. I mean, this is T-ball location. Bang, going right back up the middle. Pretty much the same location that Posey beat him on in Posey's first at bat.
Pence with 11 steals on the year. And that pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. And a shot picked on the backhand by Rutledge, and he's going to turn it into a double play. So Buster Posey hit it right on the nose, and we will head to the 4th, 2-1 Giants. before the end of August. He said teams are trickling players out. We've been active to block and also to try to force some conversation. Neither has worked. Anybody of consequence is getting claimed. I'm skeptical. I really am. I'm skeptical. I really am the way things are going. So here's Stubbs. And Stubbs looks at a strike. Stubbs hit a fly ball to deep left field in the first inning. This is hit on the ground to Crawford in the hole. And Crawford throws it into the dugout.
That might be a base hitter in there. It was going to have to be a very quick release. Crawford knew it. With Stubbs' speed, you don't get a lot of time. And he gets set up quickly on that back leg. Just throwing it up the line. Again, we haven't seen the official.
Air all the way.
Well, you're right. If he comes with it clean, they get him.
Well, that wasn't an opinion. That was what I just heard on the intercom.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. David Bush, the official scorer tonight.
Oh, this is going to be a really tough play for Crawford. And he's going to sling it again to Buster Posey. And this gets away. And moving to third. So that'll be the second error in the inning on Crawford. Both unfortunate.
Well, just a cue shot. And Crawford again trying to make something out of nothing, really, a cross body. And it hits the cut of the grass and skims on Posey. I mean, this is a bad break for Crawford. Picks up his second error in the inning.
So here's Arenado. Swing going to miss. The problem with the ball that Morneau hit, the Giants defensively had really swung around thinking that Morneau was going to hit everything to the right side, and he just cued it off the end of the bat. Foul back. Arenado really reaching out, which would lead me to believe that something's on inner half of the plate is available. There's what we're talking about.
They had Crawford playing about 5 steps away from the bag at second. And it'll definitely make you shake your head this game. No doubt.
And that's the pitch we were looking for. It's 1-2.
I like the call. Once you see a guy lean out, and he really was on that last slider. That was not a hanger either. It was a good location. Guy's doing that. He's got a lean going. That leans, you can get him inside. You go right back in there on the hands.
This time away. And now it's going to be a balk. Peavy got caught in between. So a balk is called. As Morneau took off early.
I think it takes away a stolen base from Morneau. So I think I've seen this team play better baseball than what they've shown so far tonight. 4 errors and now a head spasm. It just stunned Peavy.
Yeah, I think what happened, Mike, is he started to hear people yelling.
He was already into his motion.
And this is fouled out of play. Again, Arenado leaning out over the plate.
Well, they got to shake it. They got to get the cobwebs out from between the ears. All it is concentration. And when you're tired, that's the first thing to go.
Slowly hit. And everybody's going to be safe.
Well, this is unbelievable. There was nothing Peavy could do about this.
So there's 2 hits for the Rockies. Neither have left the infield.
Well, all you can do is cool down and try to make location pitches in the situation, and he needs a ground ball here. Guys will give up a run to get a double play. I mean, this has been another funky inning. We saw one similar to that in the first.
Dickerson popped out in the second. And he swings and misses, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Little slider right there at home plate. Nice block there by Susac. Remember, there's a runner at third base. You've got to block those, and that was an easy one. Second time this season, the Giants have had 4 errors in a game. They did it in June against Cincinnati.
Kind of odd, all this action here in the 4th, or non-action. It's only 9 pitches have been thrown. Line to Pagan. Pagan's going to make the catch. Scoring will be Morneau. And that'll be a sacrifice fly. Here's Michael McKendry, the catcher. Swinging a chopper foul.
Stu Cole's making a pretty good play over there. Rockies third base coach. McKendry, since the All-Star break, has been on fire.
Loses the bat again, and Susac's going to make the catch. I mean, in Little League, they might have to throw him out of the game.
Yeah, he does not get a juice box after this game. Throwing the bat.
So here's Rutledge. By the way, yesterday we saw that Jake Peavy got thrown out of the game. Didn't know until the paper this morning that Tim Hudson got thrown out as well.
And they were making a point to Paul Emmel, the third base umpire, that there was not a stop in the motion of Steven Strasburg, the pitcher for the Nationals. He was coming into a set position and he was not stopping his hands, at least in their opinion. And they were voicing it to Emmel, and apparently Emmel hit the saturation point and said, "You guys are gone."
Yeah, but so he made one motion to throw out 2 guys.
Well,
I wanted to see a little bit more.
I think that they were a little stunned by it themselves.
Rutledge skies it to left. Morris is there, 2-handed catch, and this weird inning comes to an end. 3-2 Rockies.
the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
The Rockies lead 3-2 as we head into the bottom of the fourth inning. Welcome back to the Giants game. I'm Amy Gutierrez. A quick update for fans on Brandon Belt and Hector Sanchez, both suffering from concussions. Belt is actually here. You saw him earlier in the game. Earlier today, he was doing some cardio exercising with the team. Hector Sanchez on his way right now to Pittsburgh. He will see Dr. Collins, guys, tomorrow and get an evaluation. Both of them about 2 to 3 weeks out of baseball activities. Dwayne and Mike?
It takes time. Thanks, Amy.
Well, it's hard to be patient, but as we know, it does take time.
Sandoval rolls this one to Rutledge. One pitch went out. And here's Michael Morris. 3-2. Colorado here in the fourth inning.
Well, there's Pandas and there's Pandas.
Mr. and Mrs. Panda?
I would have to say so.
Morris hit into a double play to end the first. Joe Panik is on deck.
Pretty straight away in the outfield. They punch the gaps, give the lines to Morris.
Out into right center field. Nobody's there. Morris is going to go. Here he goes, and he's going to make it. A triple. Just one little bobble out in the alleyway, and it changed Morris's mind to whether he was going to go or not.
Really not much of a hanger there. This is one of the few times that Matzik has made a good location pitch with a fastball. This is right down over the plate, but a little cut, and it goes right back the way it came. To right center, back spins it, and here's where the Giants catch a break. It short hops the wall, and as it stayed down there, Blackman couldn't come up with it, and Michael Morris said, I'm going for 3.
So here's Panik with the infield in, and Panik takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. So just like that, the Giants get the tying run at third. Infield in for Colorado, the third triple of the season for Morris. And Panik rolls it foul. Panik struck out in the second inning. And the 1-1 is out of play, 1-2. And again, he rolls it foul.
Now, Matzik really believes in his breaking balls. You can see how he just keeps pumping them one after another. But sooner or later, it is going to set up a fastball, and it's going to set up a fastball in and up.
A good swing by Panik. It remains 1-2.
Well, there's the fastball. They set the target away at the knees, and he 94'd him with a little cut. Panik did well to fight that off.
Got him again. 5 strikeouts now for Matzik. This is what Susac did in the second inning. This is a big fly. His second of the year. So now he'll try to pick up a base hit to tie this game with Morris at third and 2 outs. He's got a base to play with.
Right back in the same pitch he hit out of the ballpark. Just a little subtle way. I'm saying you're not taking away that pitch from me.
Blocked by McKendry. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now he's trying to take advantage of a triple, a 1-out triple by Morris. Now it'll take the base hit or a mistake by the Rockies to tie this game up. Target is in. And he just missed 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just a little bit. He reached back for that velocity. That's 95. That's the highest velocity you've seen on the fastball from Matzik tonight. You do have a tendency to add on to a hitter that has hit a home run off you earlier in the game. Well, he's seen him well. That's a pretty good pitch right there. Matzik knows he's got a left-hander on deck with Brandon Crawford, so he's really not giving Susac a bunch to hit. I doubt if he'll give into him here in a 3-1 count.
And the walk. Take a look at our Togo's big play. The Togo's way was on April 13th of this year. Crawford gets a walk-off. Rex Brothers into the water.
Pagan with the bath.
Crawford struck out in the second. He also struck out on a breaking ball in the dirt. Here he rolls this one softly. It's going to be more flipping it to Matzik, and that'll end the inning. So 1 pitch, Crawford's retired. Giants waste an opportunity. It remains 3-2 Colorado.
Having good seasons. Jorge De La Rosa taking on Madison Bumgarner. De La Rosa, a 13-game winner, taking on Bumgarner, who's got 14. Join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area for Giants pregame live at 6:30 before we bring you game 2 of this series. Giants are going to face 3 left-handers in this 4-game set. Tyler Matzek tonight, the first of those 3.
Here's DJ LeMahieu. And LeMahieu drives one. Pagan is going to watch this one bounce up against the wall. And that is going to be a leadoff double. Well, the Brewers are in town this weekend. The Saturday game is 6:05 start. The first 20,000 fans are going to receive an orange and black top hat courtesy of State Farm. Tickets are available for all 3 Brewer games. Visit sfgiants.com/tickets. So here's Matzek,
who's a pretty good hitter. It is a bunt situation. Giants will defend against it.
And that's off to the shin guard of Susac. That's the first hit for Colorado that's reached the outfield grass.
Well, Pagan made a pretty nice play to get that ball in and keep DJ LeMahieu at second base.
And this is bunted foul again, so it's 0-2. And Matzek now has just one more opportunity to get the job done. Dodgers are off tonight. Still a good fair number of games today.
Strikeout situation here, 0-2.
And Matzek fouls 3 pitches off for the strikeout.
So a non-productive out, and that's what the situation called for. Peavy able to deliver, get it.
There you see the playoff picture. The Giants 4.5 back. After tonight's game, they'll either be 4 back or 5 back, and in the wild card they still maintain that second spot. Blackman has reached on an air and he's popped out to left. And he fouls it out of play. It's 0-1.
When you talk about the all-time strikeout leaders, Jake Peavy just went past Kevin Napier and Tim Hudson. 5 away from 2,000 strikeouts. I think that still haunts Billy Pierce. 1 strikeout away from 2,000.
I wonder if he remembers any close pitches that the umpire took away from him
yeah,
over that great career of his.
600. Peavy tonight has been good with the first pitch strikes. 14 straight, as a matter of fact. He's 16 for 19. Did a nice job of getting on top. Great block.
Yeah. LeMahieu is going to go.
You want to endear yourself as a young catcher to old pitchers. Be a good blocker. Be a good framer.
Maybe we'll spin around and check on LeMahieu. Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
Change up. Fish aren't biting. So he gets ahead 0-1. He nibbles a couple of pitches. Now the 2-1. Perhaps will bite off a little more strikes. So it doesn't really have to. He's got an open base.
Two and two. And we believe a nice catch was made.
Oh, let's take a look at that nice catch that somebody made. Yep, brought a glove.
He's got a sunflower seed.
Didn't spill a seed.
The reenactment's always better.
I know. Just don't drop it on the reenactment. And he does the right thing. Nice.
And Blackman just got a piece of a pitch under his hands. It remains 2-2. He'll be looking into Andrew Susac. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch leaked right over the middle of the plate. It remains at 2-2.
That was a dangerous pitch. Blackman right on it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Blackman somehow got a piece.
Pretty good battle right here. 61 pitches on the ninth for Peavy. You want to be right around 75 or less at the end of the 5th inning. So he is definitely ahead of where he should be, pitch count wise.
2-2. Posey's got it. So a nice at bat from Blackman.
And he gets what the little bird left on the rock for that effort. Big out. You're going to have a good night and a chance to win. You're going to have to come up with a couple out of balls, and that was one right there. Ball right on the screws. Posey, couple steps, leans down to a backhand, puts a snag on it.
Here's Stubbs. And a strike to Stubbs. And another first pitch strike. Swing and a miss. Another than 2.
Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski, they're an award-winning team of 15 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area, we investigate. That guy's got some quad of candlesticks on his ass.
He does. Right there to end the inning. So Peavy pitches through a leadoff double. And he will lead things off. got happy folks here at the ballpark. They are all over the place. They're so happy the Giants are back in town. We are so happy that they're so happy because we're glad to be back in town.
Yes, we are.
Peavy with a swing and a miss. You know, we always, on getaway day, if the Giants win, it's a happy flight. How about a non-happy flight last night?
Yeah, only chance to have one, but I thought the troops had pretty good spirits. Yesterday a tough game, but you know their mood I thought was pretty light on the plane.
Outside to Peavy.
I mean, this is the time of year you've got to have a short memory. You look around the league and there's a wreck happening everywhere. I mean, the Angels getting beat right now 7-0 in the 5th by Miami. Tampa Bay gave up 9 today, got beat 9-1. Kansas City got beat 8-1. So I mean, it's just the time of year. Help is on the way. September 1st, the roster's going to expand. You can bring up some arms to help your bullpen that is completely taxed at this point. And I always thought the last couple weeks of August were when you were most vulnerable as a bullpen.
And Peavy stays alive.
Good bat. Next pitch for, that's a 60 on the night.
Got him. Time to log on to csnbarea.com and you can decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. The winner will be revealed during Giants post-game live. Check out the enhanced Bloomberg stats and much more. Giants in-game live on csnbarea.com. Log on and vote now. Here's Pagan.
Curveball's been a good pitch for Matzik tonight.
Pagan. Is it going to hang up? It will. His Stubbs make a nice lunging catch.
He can cover a lot of ground. Very talented center fielder. And he's the whole package. I mean, he's got good first step. He's got good speed. Got a great arm. Just flat out runs it down. Stubbs, former first-round pick by the Reds. Very athletic.
Here's Hunter Pence. In tight. Pence singled in the 3rd inning and a line drive into center field. And there's that breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's been throwing a lot in fastball counts. It's kind of his fastball neutralizer.
The 2-1. Here it is to Pence. 3-1.
Mr. Posey wanting to get a shot to hit this inning.
And Pence will take the walk.
It's a mistake with a 1-run lead. Oh yeah, fun of the bleachers. That's a good attitude out there every day.
So Pence with his lead. And Matzik will check on Hunter Pence. Buster Posey's hit the ball hard twice. One knocked in a run, the other on a backhanded play. Rutledge turned a nice play into a double play. And tight, 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, we haven't seen really any two-seam movement that runs away from the right-handed hitter from Matzek. Everything's been kind of a cut fastball, curveball, slider. Really hasn't thrown the changeup a whole bunch.
Tapped slowly, foul. Sandoval waiting on deck. Pence with good speed at first. And it's down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Buster's seeing Mr. Matzek pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the way he took that last one, I mean, he saw it. He's seeing it like Susac is seeing it. Both the Giants catchers have a good balance in their approach to Matzek.
Hit on the ground to LeMahieu, and that'll end the inning. Giants with a walk, 1 left through 5, 3-2 Colorado.
It's time for our fan photo contest. It's sponsored by AT&T. You need to get your Twitter account ready and tweet us a photo that you like at a Giants game or Giants-oriented hashtag CSNBA fan photo. Include your name and hometown to get on a future broadcast. Tonight, we're looking at Joseph from San Jose, California. Him and his dad repping in San Diego. A little stretch and say hey. I didn't know they were there. Did you guys know they were there, Dwayne and Mike?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
We saw them there. As this is out, and Crawford can't quite get it. And Renault's got the magic one-do going right now.
Yes, he does, and just like that, Peavy right back in the stretch. That would have been one of the plays of the year for Randy Crawford had he pulled this one off, about a glove short.
You know, Mike, how we knew they were there in San Diego?
How's that?
Because some of us make road trips.
That's true. Now, if Amy G.
Well, I'm just saying, that's it.
Yep, she doesn't do road trips.
Here's Arenado. 1 ball and no strikes. Arenado picked up an infield hit in the 4th inning. Down low, 2-0.
Stu Cole, third base coach, on the left, giving signs. Peavy trying to pound those knees, trying to get that ground ball to get a double play.
Two balls and one strike.
Arenado a little perplexed. He did do more with that 2-0 fastball challenge.
And trying to shave the outside corner. It's 3-1. Dickerson on deck. And a full count.
And an opportunity to run here with 3-2, nobody out. Betting on contact. You don't have great speed with Morneau at first. I think there's about a 30% chance he'll go. Here's Bochy making the call to throw to first just to check him.
Arenado coming into the game 2 for 3 lifetime against Peavy. Three and two. Morneau goes, swing and a miss. And this, my friends, is a double play. Nice throw by Susac.
Indeed. That's the risk you take if you're Walt Weiss, the skipper of the Rockies. You're betting on contact, and you pointed out that Arenado 2 for 3 lifetime has seen Peavy pretty well. But once you get the swing through strike 3, it's an easy throw him out for Susac to panic. And Morneau is cabbage.
Changes the inning a bit, and here's Dickerson.
Yeah, it does.
Dickerson with a sacrifice fly in the 4th.
You know, you think about all the intangibles that could happen. Take all the data that you have access to if you're a manager, and then in the end, baseball.
Sandoval through the coaching box, side retired. Nice job by Peavy. For the Giants, they'll have Sandoval, Morris, Panik, and Susac coming up.
Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
3-2 Colorado here in the sixth. Sandoval, Morris, Panik, Susac, and Crawford all scheduled to hit here in the sixth inning. Sandoval singled in the first, bounced out to short in the fourth inning. Here he takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. And a strike to even the count.
Pretty straight away in the outfield. It's a standard set now where they give lines and pitch gaps.
Sandoval opens up the inning with a base hit.
Well, the Gotham Club is a members-only speakeasy style club right here at AT&T Park. Members have access to the field pregame, the game room on the suite level with bowling and billiards, and the Gotham Clubhouse located inside the out-of-town scoreboard, which features one-of-a-kind views of the field and San Francisco Bay. Membership is limited and currently available only to season ticket members. For information, call 415-972-1883 or email gothamclub@sfgiants.com.
Here's Morris. Morris tripled in the fourth inning.
Gotham Club.
And a strike, and it's 0-1. In tight. So Matrick comes in with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. There's Panik on deck. Double play ball. 2 down.
Third double play that the Giants have hit into tonight. And you talk about a buzzkill when you're down by a run. That'll do it.
And it's a buzzkill. So here's Panik, who struck out twice in this game. Once in the fourth with Morris at third and 1 out. So right now his job to get on for Andrew Susac. Bounces this one to Rutledge, and with the help of a double play, that'll end the inning in 8-pitch innings for Matzek. 7th inning coming up. Matzik, well, he's pitched through traffic. Peavy, he's had some tough luck tonight. And the Rockies do have a 3-game winning streak at AT&T Park. Remember, they swept the Giants. 3 come-from-behind wins the last time they were here. And Andrew Susac has his second Major League home run. So here's McKendry to lead things off. And the pitch to McKendrick is up high. He struck out and he's popped out. And that pitch is a bit high, 2-0.
Yeah, that one could have gone either way, but heading strike zone has been fantastic, and I think that Peavy would be the first guy to tell you that. I think you prefer to get low strikes down around the knees. I mean, you want every strike you can get, but you prefer the low ones over the high ones. Peavy trying to end a 3-inning streak here where he's allowed the leadoff hitter to get on base.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw a strike here. And he does. Let's see, number 51, Brooks Brown. Popped up. This one's all on Crawford. Nobody else is around.
Well, there's a new morning newscast in town. Telemundo 48, Primera Edición. That's right, the Bay Area's only Spanish language morning news with live news, weather, and traffic. So tell your friends and watch Telemundo 48, Primera Edición weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. How am I doing on that?
Pretty good. Sound like John Miller. Hit out to left field for Morris.
There's only one John Miller, partner.
Sounded like Erwin Higueros. Sound like Tito Fuentes. That's who you sounded like.
I wonder if I made Tito proud.
This little guy's eating Dad's hat.
That's all right. It tastes good. That orange bill, he thinks he's eating a carrot.
Here's LeMahieu. LeMahieu takes a strike. He doubled in the 5th inning. There's Irwin over on Spanish radio, also from our PR department. Foul back. Tito, if you hit this, there he is. That's the first time you're going to see Tito this year not talking.
Tito Fuentes, alias Tito Few Hit Days, as Jack Hyatt used to call him. Teasingly, Tito could play.
Tito could play.
I think that ball really nailed Susac in a bad spot. You're right about Tito. The only time he doesn't talk is when he's sleeping. Breaking ball comes up, hits him right on the left shoulder. That'll get your attention. And what do you get to do next inning? Lead off.
Two and two to LeMahieu.
Just missed inside. Pitch count not an issue. He'd be very stingy. 86 throws, 2 outs here in the 7th.
Pulled on the ground, foul.
All right, Mark Noguchi, our ball dude at third base, going to get a little action. And Jerry Walker over first base tonight. He hadn't had a whole lot of work. There's Jerry. Not the first time he's put that glove on his hand, though. I think he needs a little oil on it.
Here's the 3-2. And it's hit out of play.
Well, you talk about the lowest run support average this season. Eric Stoltz of San Diego lead the charge. Jake Peavy on that top 5 list, averaging 3.39. That's just not a lot of help. You're not going to get a lot of wins because of that.
And LeMahieu finally in this at bat laces one into left field for a base hit. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Tyler Matzik. All smiles done in the Virgin American box down the right field line. We did a game there once and we were never invited back.
I know. We need to get going there. Or we could do the new Gotham Club out there in right field. How about that?
Yeah. I just want to know why we weren't invited back.
Yeah, I can't understand.
Giants thought something was on, and there wasn't. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Wow, good pitch there. He didn't get it. Talked about Matzik being a pretty good hitting pitcher. He's not a real good bunter, but he can hit a little bit.
And now the mask comes off.
Once you see the umpire take the mask off, argument's over.
Out of play.
Really cruising pitch count wise all game. Here in the 7th, this is the most pitches that he's thrown. Now he's due to hit 3rd in the bottom of the 7th. It's probably going to be his last inning.
Swing and a miss.
But once again, he has pitched beautifully tonight. We are not invited back. That's a strong group right there.
Think of a bunch of reasons to be invited back. 2-2. Fouled off the top of the backstop. Jake Peavy is due to hit 3rd in the bottom of this inning. So Peavy a new baseball as he rubs it up. Matzik providing right now a tough at bat.
There's nobody in that Giants bullpen either. There's the first off speed pitch that he's thrown since he's had Matzik in the 2-strike count. Playing him to the left side, thinking if he hits the ball, it's going to go to left field. If he pulls the ball, DJ LeMahieu is going to score. Oh my. That's 2 he's missed in this sequence. That front door sinker just not there. And you saw Jake Peavy saying that's bad.
Wow.
Well, his lips are smiling, but his eyes are not.
Runner goes. Wow.
So they got to go calm him down right now. He's hot. Pitch count just got run up. I mean, it was a great at bat for Matzik, but I mean, I don't know what Peavy had to do to get a strike. So George Canto's going to go down and very quickly start throwing. And Bruce Bochy's going to do nothing here but try and calm the waters.
Think he's going to have something to say on his way back?
Yeah. Eddings had his mask off and he was doing a stare down. And this is the 2-2 pitch right here they thought they had. And there were two just like it, and here's the third one, or the 3-2 pitch. And, yeah, you could say it was low. But right now, Peavy's got his hands full. I mean, this is a huge point in this ball game. And Blackman's got 60 RBIs on the year, so you know he likes this situation.
Pop-up straight back and out of play.
Get back to his last at bat. It was about a 7 or 8 pitch at bat that ended up with hitting a bullet to Posey on the line.
He's got a base to play with, but it's at third.
Got to find the calm. And it's hard to do sometimes, but you really have to be the type of guy that can forget easily. You've got to put everything you have on that pitch. Especially now. I mean, it's the game right here.
And that pitch is wide. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Peavy knows the deal. This is going to be his last hitter. He wants to have any chance at a win. He's got to end it right here. Pitches to this end.
Pence will play it on a hop. Here comes LeMahieu. Here's the throw. And no. And now they got to come back home. And out at home is Matzik. But we got a bunch of things going on here.
Now Peavy getting a few things off his chest to Doug Eddings, and now Jim Joyce, the crew chief, coming out. Well, they're going to review this play. Nobody's leaving the field until they take a look at DJ LeMahieu and whether or not he was safe or out with that throw from Hunter Pence. And I'm not sure. He hit him high on the leg. It's just a matter of whether or not that front foot got in. Watch the tag high. Safe. They replayed it here from the high home angle and showed the ballpark. From that angle, it looked like they indeed got him.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity. Now, I haven't written anything down on my scorecard yet.
Let's take another look. Outstanding throw from Hunter Pence. Way back on the hop. Nice one-hop throw to Susac. And whether or not he got the glove down in time.
Here's where I think we got a problem, Mike, the second time round. Did Susac give Matzik a lane?
Oh, he definitely gave a lane. Oh, you mean Matzik? I don't know. That's a good point. Here's the first one. And he may have, you know what, in looking at that right there, I think he may have got the foot. And looking at that angle right there, I think they may have got the foot. Yeah, he's out. I think he got the front of the foot.
I think he did.
I didn't see him tag him the first time, but right there, yeah, he got him right there on the foot. And if they see that, then they're going to have to call him out. And I think they got him. Now, if it goes back into a Matzik, you're right. They may not have given him a lane. It could be a two-run deal. They may review that. But right now, they looked at the first one, and they've seen it a lot. They had to have seen Susac make contact with the front part of that foot, and that would end the inning, and the runner would not score. But we'll see.
Got him. So a terrific throw by Hunter Pence, and Andrew Susac does the job. Oh boy. We got lots of ball game left. 3-2 Colorado. Susac takes in tight, 1 ball and no strikes. Susac homered in the second and then drew a walk.
Well, I tell you what, if they don't get that call, that run scores. And the point you make about Matzik, the pitcher, whether or not he had a lane, he did not. And I think they would have allowed that run to score, and it would have been 2 runs in, runner at third. Ooh.
Not good. Susac takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. He taps this one foul. 2-2.
Big Peavy outstanding tonight, talking things over with Dave Rigetti. Peavy allowed 3 runs, 1 of which were earned. Giants with 4 errors behind him.
Three and 2 now to Susac. How about this? He argues, gets thrown out of the game. The call stays the same. They got to get a new pitcher.
Yeah, that's right. They toss him. I didn't see it.
No. Susac out swinging.
Oh, nice curveball. All right, so here's the one that was reviewed and it was eventually called out. He hits him in the foot, so he's out. Now the second one is the pitcher Matzik. Now look at did he give him a lane? He did not, and that's going to get called back. That run would have scored.
Now the only argument anybody could give was, did the throw cause Susac to get into that lane? Here's Crawford. Crawford rolls on the first pitch to Morneau, 2 out. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but it's what somebody might argue.
Oh, I'm sure it would have been argued. Of that I have no doubt. Here's the throw from Crawford. And you can see already prior to the throw, he was planted. Now the one hop did take him into the runner, but even before the step into the runner, I don't know if he gave him enough lane. As sensitive as that rule has been, that's a 50-50 call. Peavy, outstanding.
Here's Arias, the pinch hitter. And more barking from the Giants dugout on that pitch.
Brooks Brown.
In tight to Arias with Pagan on deck. On the ground, that's a fair ball. Arenado's going to get up. He's going to throw it into the dugout. Well, Arenado with a great 1/2 of the play.
Well, it should be a base hit and an error, but you're right. I mean, most guys don't even get to this, and there's the brilliant first half. Gets up, plants, and he's got a cannon, and we've seen him make this play a number of times. And here, the throw up the line takes Morneau off the bag, who can't get it, and guys catch a break with that ball going in the dugout, so another 390 feet. Last year's 2013 Gold Glove Award winner at third base.
So, Walter Weiss is coming out. And he's going to lead him in. The hitter will be Angel Pagan. So here's Pagan. Pagan's 1 for 3, doubled in the first, struck out in the third, and then hit a low line drive that Stubbs made a nice lunging catch on in the 5th inning. Pagan on the ground, and Arenado's got it, and his throw in time, and that'll end the inning. So Pagan hit it right on the nose, and we will head to the 8th, 3-2 Colorado. Bay Aquarium. Share the thrill, share the love at MontereyBayAquarium.org/love. It's 3-2 Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Sergio Romo in for the 52nd time this year. 5-3 with a 4.15 ERA, more than a strikeout an inning. And righty's hitting $173 off him.
Stubbs takes a strike. He's 0 for 3.
The no-dot slider. Such a great pitch. Not many of them around. And he really has been very consistent with that slider. In about the last couple of weeks, he's found a nice release point with it.
And Stubbs is out on 3 pitches. All right, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, Dwayne, you and Mike earlier in the game were talking about the potential that this Rockies team had at the beginning of the season. They started off 2014 22-14. Not only did they struggle then on the road, they got bit by the injury bug big time. Here's a look at their current disabled list. 7 Rockies on it, and of course Carlos Gonzalez and Troy Tulowitzki out for the season. Guys, the injury is just too much for this club to come back from this season.
Indeed, indeed.
That's a lot of talent on the DL.
Here's Morneau. Morneau is 2 for 3. He takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
I mean, you lose that one, and you're in trouble. You lose the heart of your lineup.
Morneau lifts this one out to left for Morse. 2 outs.
Well, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD over 400 devices. Visit sfgiants.com for details.
Here's Arenado. Arenado 1 for 3. And a strike, and it's 0-1. And that pitch is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adam Ottavino is in the bullpen getting loose. And a pitch to hit and a foul back. 1-2.
He's up.
So Romo regrouping off to the side of the mound. High, 2-2.
A little sling in that delivery, got underneath it. I mean, his delivery is more of a high sidearm, and that one almost looked like it was under sidearm.
Two and two. And that will end the inning. Giants in the bottom of this inning. It'll be Pence, Posey, and Sandoval. Ottavino coming in. It'll be Jorge De La Rosa against Madison Bumgarner. Pre-game live is going to come from Say Hey Tuesday at Willie Mays Plaza at 6:30. Then we'll have the game for you at 7 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Here's Pence facing Adam Ottavino. And the strike. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smart experts.
Kind of a sinker slider changeup guy. Adam Ottavino with a good live sinker. It'll go low to mid-90s. Hard slider, really a strikeout pitch, and an occasional changeup. There's the slider we're talking about. That's a big one. They're using both the righties and lefties effectively. And the thing about that breaking ball is he can spot on both sides of the plate.
Pence 4 for 13 lifetime. Here he chases the high breaking ball. It's 1-2.
Well, anytime you see a ball up around the shoulders of Hunter Pence, you want him swinging at it. After what we saw in Washington, when you had a ball almost over his head out of the ballpark.
Outside, 2-2. Been on base twice, a single and a walk. And this is a base hit to open up the inning. He hung another one, and Pence is aboard.
They set that target wide. McHenry, the catcher, wanted that thing off the plate. He didn't want it right over the middle of the strike zone. And that is a gift.
So here's Buster Posey. Big gap between Morneau and LeMahieu, as you would figure. And it's low, 1 ball and no strikes. Pence with his lead. And a strike to Buster Posey. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He guessed wrong. He was either sitting on another breaking ball or looking middle away, but he was not looking in.
Buster 2 for 11 against Ottavino. Sandoval on deck. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Good pitch right there. That could have been called a strike. One of those 50-50 calls. Half the time it's a strike, half the time it's a ball. So 3 pitches in the at-bat. So far, Ottavino is showing Posey 2 breaking balls.
And now timeout is called.
I mean, that's really more than just slider. That's more of a slurve. Kind of a pitch right between a slider and a curveball. That's pretty big. Michael Morris.
Two and one. Two and two.
Three breaking balls in the 4 pitches that Posey has seen. And that one had some hang time on it.
So Pence being held on by Morneau.
And then another breaking ball. No, I'm sorry. That's a fastball. That's a low strike.
And Bruce Bochy's just been thrown out.
Well, Bochy's got to be livid at this. You think back to the pitch that was called a ball with Tyler Matzik, the Rockies pitcher, up at a 3-2 count from Jake Peavy. And that's the argument that he's making right now. He's going, you're killing me. You called that ball 4 against Matzik now in a 1-run ball game. You got my big guy up there and you ring him up in a ball that's low. And he's going to get a good peace of mind right here. And When Doug Eddings goes back and watches both pitches, he's going to understand exactly what Bochy's talking about. And right now, Bochy's trying to fire up that bench. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, has come in to help out Eddings. I don't think Bochy's ever looked up to an umpire in his life. Now here's the 3-2 pitch to Tyler Matzik. Remember this one? That was called a ball. I'm sorry, that's a 2-2 pitch. Now here's the strike 3 call to Posey. That's just a bad call.
Wow. So here's Sandoval. In the dirt, blocked by McKendry.
The fans are saying strike 1. Posey frustrated, talking a little with Matt Cain. And Madison Bumgarner going, took the bat right out of my hands. And he did. It's a bad call.
One and 0 to Sandoval. Sandoval looks it high and out of play.
Now here's the 3-2 pitch to Matzik. Now that was a ball 4. And here's the pitch to Posey. And that's strike 3. And now you know why Bruce Bochy got kicked out of the game. You can't have it both ways. If it's going to be ball 4 to Matzik, it's got to be ball 4 to Posey. And you understand why the skipper is upset.
This is on the ground, probably a double play, and that'll end the inning. So it goes for the Giants as we go to the 9th. It's 3-2 Colorado.
Now for a Honda player of the game, we think Andrew Susac is that player of the game. And we'll show you why. He hits his second home run of his career. This one he takes on center field. A power hitter's swing at the bat. And there's a strike him out, throw him out. Shooting down Justin Morneau. Wraps up pine. And then the tag play that sent DJ LeMahieu packing. And that is why we think that Andrew Susac is our Honda player of the game.
So Affel will face Corey Dickerson. 3-2 Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Jeremy Affel, the new pitcher now for the Giants. 52 times that he has come into a year, or into a game this year. 3-2 with a 2.72 ERA. And a good opportunity to sort of get back on the horse for Affel, who had a rough day yesterday in Washington. And that's the beautiful thing about being a reliever. You can have a bad day, and you don't have to wait 5 days to get back out there. George Contos up for the second time.
Buster Posey's got it.
That is a big league saw job right there. Oh my. All right, well, watch this thing blow up. Yeehaw! That could not have possibly felt good.
So here's McHenry. For the Giants in the ninth, they'll have Morris, Panic, Susac, and Crawford, and then whatever's left on the bench. And a strike to McHenry. Hit to Panic. 2 outs.
Nice sinker there.
Stay tuned for the post-game wrap. And I'll also talk about the game with Murph and Mac tomorrow morning on KMBR 680.
If Jeremy Affel has that sinker going, that's what you're going to see. A lot of balls hit on the ground. And really, that's what happened to him yesterday in Washington. Those balls hit on the ground were finding holes.
And Rutledge takes a called strike. Oh, and 2.
Good split.
Foul back. Pitch out over the plate at 93 miles per hour. Oh, and 2.
Troy Hawkins, the closer for the Rockies, getting ready. He will pitch the bottom of the ninth. Ooh, good pitch, OT.
Got him. Oh, well. You figure it out.
Wow.
Because right now, Doug Eddings does not have a clue. 3-2, Colorado. postgame live right here on Comcast Sports Net Bay Area. 3-2 Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Troy Hawkins on the hill now for Colorado. Hawkins, 41 years of age. His 18th year at the big league level, and he's 20 for 21 in save-ops. 2-2 with a 2.80 ERA. You take your bats against him, you're going to see a little bit down these fastball, curveball, slider. Pretty much fastball, slider. But from the high three-quarter release, it's a different release. It gets on you. It's a pretty straight fastball, but he spots it well, both sides of the plate, and he's got nice command with that slider both sides of the plate.
And a quick pitch, and he fouls it out of play. Well, it's not a quick pitch if he does it all the time.
It is definitely something designed to upset the timing of a hitter.
0-1. And that's off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Panic on deck. Trying to take a walk here.
Any base runner they can get.
That foul. It's 2-2.
In case you're wondering, Hawkins has given up 2 home runs all year in 45 innings.
Well, that's not very many given where he pitches at home.
Oh, you're right. And his ERA 2.80, very, very good for someone who spent the year in Colorado. Oh. Hold your breath. Somewhere in the Giants clubhouse, this coach should just watch this pitch. And I think he may have thrown up. As that is a little bit higher than the one that was called strike 3 to Posey. And you can see the reaction from Hawkins. He wanted it.
Out of play. Remains 3-2.
Bottom of the strike zone has been a coin toss, especially these last couple of innings. Posey victimized in his last at bat.
Play again.
There's that quick pitch you're talking about. Same motion he opened up the at bat with. Yeah. Michael Morse late on that fastball.
So it stays at 3-2. And the walk. Now we'll see a pinch runner. It's going to be Matt Duffy. Panic is the hitter. Give him a breaking ball.
Real slider. I mean, he's usually got pretty good command with that pitch.
Panic swinging and fouling out of play.
The way the Rockies have set their outfield, they've got Blackman, the right fielder, way off the line, and they've exposed the whole right side of the field. And any breaking ball that goes down and in is a pretty good opportunity for Panic to pull the ball and take advantage of that hole.
He's sliding back in.
It is rally cap time. What Panic has shown in the National League since he's been called up is a very good opposite field approach. He hits a lot of balls in left field, left center. He really hasn't pulled the ball down the line, and now the Rockies have adjusted to that.
0-2. So Panic now behind in the count. Gregor Blanco's on deck. Up and in, 1-2.
Oh, I looked like it almost caught his sleeve. Very close to hitting him.
Close, you're right. 1-2. All back. Pretty good battle going on right now. 41,052 here tonight.
Panic does not have a lot of swing. I mean, it's a swing built for contact. That's a good version of the rally cap.
1-2. And again, a soft toss and Duffy back easily.
Well, Hawkins has got a better move than that. Not that Duffy is a strong candidate to try and steal.
One and two. Out of play. So a pretty good battle going on right now.
You see the center fielder and left fielder kind of pinching the gap in left center. Pretty straight away in the infield.
Duffy with his lead at first. He represents the tying run. Two and two.
Good take. Are you swinging it down?
Yeah, probably.
He does this, so watch this guy. He's got a nice eye.
Marshall leading off for the walk. Duffy running for him at first. Driven to right. And it's right at Blackman who puts it away. A nice at bat.
Indeed. Frustrating for Joe Panic, but I tell you what, that was an outstanding effort. A lot of pitches, take it to a two-strike and then hit a seed. Right at Blackman right. Kick and hit. And the defensive shift that the Rockies employed just paid off.
So here's Blanco. Swing and a miss by Blanco. No balls and one strike.
Blanco with a long home run yesterday to lead off the ball game. against Steven Strasburg, and he did that in a 2-strike count.
He hits that ball here, and it's an OUT.
He's got enough to pump it out of here. Yeah, I'm thinking home runs and walk-offs. Giants haven't had one in a while.
And that fastball high. And this was the home run yesterday.
Yeah, 3-2 count.
Out of play. 1-2. A ball down the line is going to score Duffy. That would be down the right field line. Dickerson is shading Blanco towards the line and left. The thing that Blanco has to stay away from here is chasing the high fastball. And time called.
Hawkins slowing it down as he will with men on base.
So it's 1-2. Got him.
Two-seam fastball. It took out the inside corner.
And it's left up to Crawford.
Freezes him right there. And Jake Peavy never got that pitch.
So here's Crawford. Maybe Crawford saving his best until last.
When you think back to April, when he did have that swing of the bat, put it in the cove, and Giants got to walk it off.
And it's foul. And we showed it earlier. Here it is again.
Rex Brothers, the hard-throwing lefty for the Rockies. And Crawford put it in the pond.
So it's 0-1 to Brandon Crawford. And that fastball is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis Ishikawa is on deck.
Low strike. And Ron Wotus barking at Doug Eddings. Chris Bochy was ejected.
Well, now you just got to swing at it. One and two. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Giants just trying to get to Ishikawa, or if Crawford can get one in the gap or get one down the lines. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He got him, and that's the ball game. So game one of the series goes to the to the Rockies. And I don't know, Mike, sometimes you broadcast the game and you just realize that some games just aren't meant to be. They're just not.
Well, it's an unfortunate loss, but 4 errors really are jumping off the stat sheet, and Jake Peavy really minimized what could have been a disaster. Pitched beautifully and walks out of here with a loss, and that's the hard thing to take here. But they didn't play well, and they didn't take care of opportunities when they were presented them. You can say all you want about an umpire, but they had opportunities and they could not capitalize.
Final score: Rockies 3, Giants 2. Eastern's Giants postgame live with interviews, and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio.